Achievement Award presentation, Shirley MacLaine.
What a joy this is for me. For me to participate in a tribute to Gene Kelly is an extension of a feeling that began in May of 1953 in my life. I was dancing in the chorus of a show called Pajama Game, a Broadway show. I was the pajama worker number 3, as I recall, dancing behind sewing machine number 3. Because the show was a hit, many famous people and important people came to see us and then came backstage to say hello. For example, Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt came, and many stars from Broadway and Hollywood. But they were wonderful but aloof. We weren't involved. They were untouchable. Then one night, a gentleman came who changed all that. He climbed over scenery. He climbed over props. He climbed over flats. He found the steel stairway that led down to the basement where we dressed. He climbed down those stairs, waded his way through costume racks and piles of dancers' shoes, and he found the dressing room where the 12 dancers dressed. He came to us. He stood in the doorway and introduced himself as though he needed to. And then he proceeded to be so generous with his compliments, with his friendliness. He was one of us. Then he turned around to leave, and I dressed in a little mirror right by the door. That was my little cubicle. And I had a long red ponytail then. And Gene looked down at me. I thought, oh dear, what is this going to be? And then he leaned down, and he picked up my ponytail, and in my ear he whispered, "Kid, you've really got something. Keep going." So I looked up, and my eyes flooded with tears, and I said, "Oh, Mr. Kelly, you've really got something too. You keep going." Then 30 years later, I'm skipping a lot of time in between just to make this image work. 30 years later, I had my show here at the Wilshire Theater, and Gene came. And he did exactly the same thing with us backstage. He sought out every single dancer, went to their dressing rooms, and then he came to my room. I was not in the basement anymore. And he leaned in and he said, "Kid, you have really got something. Keep going." I said, "How long should I keep going?" He said, "You keep going as long as you find happiness in helping people realize their dreams." Isn't that beautiful? So to me, Gene Kelly is a dancer. Of course, he's a choreographer and a director and a producer and a writer and a creator, but he is first and foremost a dancer. He's a gypsy. Gene worked his way up from the Broadway chorus, which began in 1937. And on Christmas night, 1940, he opened in the title role of Pal Joey, and that, as they say, was that. David O. Selznick brought him to Hollywood.